The brain box, the spot to get you hot, motivated, educated, money generated. The brain box, place to take you higher, get you inspired, keep you lifted, show you gifted. The brain box, place to take you higher, get you inspired, keep you lifted, show you gifted. The brain box, motivated, educated, money generated. The brain box. The brain box. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, Magi of Get Lifted Entertainment, coming to you with another episode of The Brain Box. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to my last episode of The Brain Box uploaded to the YouTube channel. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the feedback via text messages and direct messages on the different social media platforms. I cannot thank you enough. No one is obligated to share their time with me, so that is very priceless, and it's definitely motivating, and it helps encourage me just as I try to encourage others. So I definitely want to thank you for tuning in. This broadcast, I'm going to speak about ISRC codes, which is a very important factor for artists to collect their royalties. And not just artists, ISRC codes are a great form for authors who may do audiobooks, for podcasts, as well as spoken word and things of that nature. So it's pretty much what ISRC stands for is the International Standing Recording Code. And it's important because it's a system that allows for audio and music video recordings to be tracked globally. And with this coding system, it does, like I said, it allows you to be able to identify your music in such a way where it's almost like a social security number for a sound recording or a music video. And you do have to have a separate ISRC code for a music video, apart from a song or a audio recording. So they're usually, it's an alphanumeric 12-digit code. The code does have a different identifications for the number. It's going to have, like, part of it is for the country, part of it is for the year that it was released. So when you get this code, it's very important that you create some sort of database that allows you to keep track of your own codes. There are a couple of ways that you can retain the code or attain the codes, and once you attain those codes, you then register or have them assigned to a track. Now, there is websites out there where you can purchase your own ISRC codes, but then you have the digital distribution platforms such as DistroKid, Songcast Music, TuneCore, CD Baby. They do assign the ISRC codes per track for you. A lot of individuals don't take that extra step or don't even have access to their own platforms to be able to see this information. And once you get this information, you can go as far as putting this into the metadata on SoundCloud. I know a lot of artists miss out on the fact that if you input this metadata on SoundCloud, it will allow you to also get those plays from that platform, which in turn, it does count towards streaming and plays for royalty collections. So it's important that you use the coding system. Like I said, it helps identify your tracks and helps you catalog your music that's compiled for an album as well. So these codes, they definitely allow you to get paid with the digital sales and streaming. They also are a very big part of the Billboard charting if you're registered with Nielsen. And once you register with Nielsen, you will be asked for these codes. And this is what helps you get that charting on billboards. And it's almost like if you're not registered with Nielsen and you're not using these codes, your music doesn't really exist to that Billboard charting system. So again, the ISRC codes, it's an international standing recording code. It is primarily used to identify, also catalog the tracks compiled for an album. The codes digitally allow and help you get paid for digital music streaming and digital music sales. So if you are an individual that was totally clueless about this, I definitely hope you take the time to not only purchase your own ISRC codes if you're not an artist that uses digital streaming distribution services like DistroKid or TuneCore, CD Baby, Songcast Music. Like I said, there are a couple of websites out there where you can purchase the ISRC codes, and you also have to pay a one-time registration fee so that you can register your music as well with the ISRC codes. Now, once you get the codes, it's like I said, it's like a social security number. So very rarely will this number change. It doesn't matter if you put it on another album. Say you put an album together today, but 2 years from now you want to put that as a bonus track or something like that. You definitely want to make sure that you use the same exact ISRC code. There's no real point of switching up this code because, again, it's an identification for the particular track. So it's the social security number for the track, just like your social security number. It does not change. If you happen to use a different ISRC code, the only time you really want to do that is if you've made changes to a track. And that change, it has to be something like that makes a difference of 10 seconds or more. Let's say you change the track length, you change the title, you remastered it, you changed the pitching on it, re-equalizing it, things like that. Any change such as that nature, or any change that causes the track to be 10 seconds or longer, definitely want to make sure that you get a different ISRC code for the track. The same thing for cover music. If you are using cover songs, you can get an ISRC code for the track. The only difference with that is, like, you have to put yourself as the feature, and whoever the cover song is, they're the main artist of that song when you apply for this ISRC code. And so again, you can use it for cover songs. I'm not really a fan of cover songs, but I get that people use cover songs to help build their brand, help build up their talent and showcase their talent and things of that nature. So if you are an individual that is looking to make money off of a cover song, then you should definitely get a separate ISRC code for that. And like I said, you will be titled as the feature artist versus the individual whose song it is. They are the main artist. So just keep that in mind. And let's see, another thing I wanted to talk about, embedding your ISRC code. I personally think it's pretty savvy for individuals who get their ISRC codes embedded into their media, because number one, if you lose access to a database or a system that has assigned or is tracking your ISRC codes, you can always go to that particular file and gather the information that's needed, such as your ISRC code. If you've ever wondered how some people's music show when you're playing it in a car stereo or something like that, it shows the artist's name and title of the track. It shows even sometimes the artwork. That's because they went the step further and they got the ISRC code embedded into their track. You can do this yourself if you have the equipment and you have the knowledge, but again, there are services out there that will embed the ISRC code for you within the track. And it also helps eliminate the misidentification of your video or your song. It helps clubs and venues identify whose music they're playing. It helps their audience know, like, oh, that's such and such track, and oh, who's that artist? And they can look up at the screen or maybe even go over to the DJ and be like, who is that? And they don't really have to do much digging to find out that information, because once the ISRC code is embedded in there, they're going to be able to automatically see right away the artist name, the title of the track, and say, hey, that's such and such. Or if they're playing it on a big screen monitor or something, and you're embedded into the file itself, your ISRC code, it's going to show your name, it's going to show your title of the track, and you can also go as far as having your artwork embedded and coded as well, so it may even show the artwork to the track or the album. Another quick pointer, when you go onto like DistroKid or TuneCore, Songcast Music, CD Baby, I do know that their database will show an ISRC code. It also shows some other codes in the UPC code as well. Just keep in mind that the ISRC code identifies the individual track, and the UPC code identifies the complete album. So that's a very important piece of information, because I do also know on SoundCloud you're asked for both, and some people get confused and they may put the wrong number there. And so just keep in mind the ISRC code, it identifies the track, and the UPC code identifies the album itself. Let's say you want to sell a track digitally and you want to sell a track with physical copies, you do have to get separate UPC codes for that. And I don't want to get too much into UPC codes because I don't want to, confuse people. But just keep in mind that you want to make sure that you're not putting the UPC code in place of the ISRC code. As far as the Nielsen SoundScan system, like I said, these codes are important because you do need these in order for your songs to be part of Billboard chart participation. If you're not registered with Nielsen SoundScan, I do suggest you do a little research to find out what exactly Nielsen SoundScan is, because it is a very important part of also being recognized, being charted, and ISRC codes play an important factor when it comes to the Nielsen SoundScan system. So, like I said, if the track is not identified with that code and you're not registered with Nielsen SoundScan, then your music pretty much doesn't exist to the whole idea of being part of the recognition that you can get for Billboard charting. And so, like I said, just keep in mind that this is just another way for you to identify your music, collect your royalties, keep a great database. There are systems out there where you can purchase them on your own, register and assign them to the tracks as needed, or if you're already using a digital distribution platform system, they are there. You just need to sign in, get access. If you don't have access because you have a manager or someone who only has the access to these databases, I strongly recommend you always know the sign in and passwords to these platforms, because there may be a time where they're not available, or you just want to know what the heck is going on. You don't have a database, you don't have anybody creating it for you, so therefore you hop on there and you create your own database and keep track of your own ISRC codes and the songs that they're assigned to, and just know that this information is out there and you can use it on SoundCloud and any other platform that will require you to know and have this information. Other than that, if you have any other questions in regards to ISRC codes, or just any questions in general, something you would like to hear me talk about, explain more, please contact me at getliftedentertainment.com. You can fill out the contact list there, the contact form there, and shoot me over a comment in that contact form in regards to your question or a topic you want me to discuss. Follow me on Instagram at getliftedentertainment. You can also follow the Brain Box, that's 2 X's, on Instagram as well. I hope this information was informative enough to help somebody, or click that light bulb for someone and be like, you know what, I didn't know that existed, and I didn't even know that I should be keeping track of these, and I didn't know that I should be registered with Nielsen SoundScan so I can, possibly be part of the Billboard charting. And like I said, this is another way that you get those royalties. Royalties collect that money. Until next time, I appreciate you for tuning in to The Brain Box.